quick channel update. I think I'm going to try to record these videos before the due date so that I don't end up uploading these videos really late, because right now I'm only going to do the introduction to ethics in C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity in book 3 rather than doing it over the whole shebang. The overview is this. Although he doesn't use the term virtue ethics, teleology, or Aristotle, I feel like what C.S. Lewis's ethics is doing is what was done during the medieval times by Augustine and Aquinas. He's taking Greek philosophy and Christianizing it. Because his ethics, a good chunk of his ethics, is enough to where it could be by itself. It's a self-sufficient ethics that doesn't need God. So you can take God of C.S. Lewis's ethical equation and be fine. You'll have actually a better moral theory afterwards. If you don't, his theory is virtue ethics plus Jesus. If you don't know what virtue ethics is, it's kind of this general idea of follow good habits, don't follow bad habits. It helps to more understand the dichotomy between agent and act-centered ethics. Act-centered ethics is basically we determine right and wrong based off evaluating particular acts of individuals. Whereas agent-centered ethics is more of a matter of we're going to focus on the overall moral character of the people involved and their overall how they act all the time. Not just this particular act, but their overall system of actions throughout their whole life. So yeah, it's more of a matter of character rather than specific acts. So yeah, and there's usually two kinds of virtue ethics. There's more philosophic virtue ethics, and there's more common sense version of it. The common sense version of it is the one we all know. Basically, we've been taught, and our culture has these virtues and these vices, and we commonsensically believe we should follow the virtues and not follow follow the virtues, not follow the vices. And the philosophic one it's pretty much that, but just more analyzed. Basically, we have to recognize that this is a matter of habits, good habits and bad habits. In determining good habits, the virtues, we have to consider man's teleology, i.e. his purpose, what makes man healthy, which I should say humanity. So I've been reading this guy, and he does that everything's about men type language. Anyway, humanity, what's good for humanity, good habits for humanity, and stuff like that. We must consider humanity's teleology, each individual person's teleology, that is, their purpose, what makes them healthy, what will create a fully functional human being. And to make a really functional human being, they have to follow the virtues and avoid the vices. Although since it's a matter of habit, you can do a vice rarely on an extreme situation. Aristotle also had this golden mean view of virtue ethics, which is basically virtue was a mean between some sort of deficiency and some sort of excess. So courage is a golden mean between the excess of recklessness and the deficiency of cowardice, stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, C.S. Lewis has a very similar theory. His this introduction to book 3 and Mere Christianity, which is the book I'm doing, is 3 parts to morality, which is the name of his little intro bit. The first part is fair play and harmony between individuals. Second is harmony within the individual. And third, and this third one really gets to the teleology bit, although of course he doesn't use such language because this is written for the layman. The third is with the general purpose of human life as a whole, what man was made for. Which of course is the downside to reading this for me, because I would really prefer to read a book written for philosophers or written for people who know things about philosophy, so that I would get lots of answers that he can't put in here because it's for the layman. Because it's for the layman, there's lots of stuff he just can't go into because it's too difficult. But anyway, yeah, those 3 are makes sense for virtue ethics. So yeah, so far, before he gets to Jesus, he has a perfectly well-formed virtue ethical theory. And I wish he would just stay that, which is why I read him and I think he's such a genius. Why did he? I really wish he would have stayed an atheist. He'd been really helpful on our side. Instead, he goes from such a really good theory to all of a sudden saying things about how like our view of the soul affects all of society. Some like immortality makes this other difference, which by and by has the connection. This is page 74 for anyone who has the book. Has a connection with the difference between totalitarianism and democracy. If individuals live only 70 years, then a state or a nation or a civilization which may last for 1,000 years is more important than an individual. If Christianity is true, then the individual is not only more important, but incomparably more important. For he is everlasting. The life of a state and a civilization compared with his is only a moment. Yeah, that's... I still don't know how to explain it very well. But his idea near the end here seems to be that if we don't believe in the soul, then lifespan of a human is only like 70 years and then they die and that's it. The state could be 1,000 years. Hence, since the state lasts longer, this little 70-bit lifespans of the humans in that time period aren't worth as much because they're only 70, these little 70-year bits on this 1,000-year-long state existence. But if we believe in the soul, then the lifespan of a human, there's like 70 years of biological life, and then like infinity years of supernatural soul life, in which by comparison the state is like really, really, really small, and hence totally unimportant, just a moment in time compared to an infinite supernatural soul life. So his idea is that you can't justify totalitarianism if you believe in the soul, because people are so important because they live for infinity after they die. And without the soul, it'd be harder to argue against totalitarianism or something like that. I don't know. It might not be that. It might just be the fact. This might just be one argument against totalitarianism. It's a supernatural one, hence wrong. Like, there's really no proof for the supernatural at all. The supernatural is superstition. So, and like unscientific, unphilosophic, or pseudoscientific, it's pseudo-philosophic craziness. So unless you can prove to me that there's a soul or magic, like, because believing in the soul is similar to believing that someone can like throw fireballs out of their hands. It's really magical. So yeah, basically that's it. He has a good, you can have a secular version of his theory, which is just virtue ethics, which is fine, and he muddies the waters and goes off the deep end when he gets all Jesus-y. Which of course it's C.S. Lewis, I understand. My point is that he'd be a great philosopher, I think, or at least a great pop philosopher, because he seems more, I haven't read proof really of him being a real academic philosopher in the traditional sense. He's still in the pop philosophy realm. He'd be a great pop philosopher then, if he didn't get all Jesus-y and say weird things like that. Because he'd be a great virtue ethicist. And I feel like this video has gone on too long, so I'm just going to end it now and say also near the end, I'm going to read the rest of the morality section, and if I come across anything that I want to make a video about, I'll make a video Monday over this. And hopefully just next week will be the last C.S. Lewis week. So there'll be 2 more C.S. Lewis videos. One for this book and then one for like book 4. That'll be it. Alright, bye.